A lonely rancher thought today would be just another ordinary day, but a little girl's whisper changed everything. Watch till the end to see a story that will warm your heart, red heart. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this. Lonely rancher was just buying a cow until the child whispered, "It's my mommy's last day alive." Ethan Mallory had spent most of his life on the wide open plains of Wyoming, where the horizon seemed endless and the wind carried whispers of solitude. At 53, he knew cattle better than people. His ranch, a modest spread of golden pastures and weathered barns, had been his world, but never his family. Each day started with the rooster's crow and ended with the tired creak of his boots on the wooden floor. The quiet had been comforting, but deep down, he felt a hollow ache, a yearning for connection he couldn't quite name. That morning, Ethan drove his old pickup to the county fair, where livestock were sold each spring. His plan was simple. Buy a strong, healthy cow for his herd. Routine and practicality, not sentiment, guided him. As he walked past pens of spirited calves and sturdy cows, he focused on numbers and weights, keeping a mental ledger rather than making conversation. Then he saw her, a little girl, maybe 7 or 8, with messy brown hair and eyes that were both curious and sad. She clutched a thin, worn blanket and stayed near a fence, her attention fixed on a gentle cow that nuzzled her palm as if it understood her completely. "Are you selling this one?" Ethan asked softly, approaching her. The girl nodded, then whispered, "It's my mommy's last day alive." The words struck Ethan like a punch to the chest. For a moment, the busy sounds of the fair, the chatter, the calls of the auctioneer, the clatter of hooves faded away. He knelt to meet her eyes. I'm sorry, sweetie." "What do you mean?" She pointed at the cow. "Mama loved her. She said, tomorrow she might not wake up. The doctor said she's very sick." Her small hands trembled on the fence, and the innocence in her eyes cut through Ethan's calm, hitting him with a sharp awareness of life's fragility. Something in him shifted. Loneliness suddenly felt different when faced with someone else's pain. And he realized he could do something, anything, that might help. "Maybe I can help," he said, uncertain how a lone rancher could. The girl's eyes lit up with hope, and Ethan felt an unfamiliar sense of purpose. Over the next hour, Ethan made arrangements to take the cow home for the girl and her mother. On the drive, he spoke softly, calling the cow Daisy, hoping the little comforts might ease the child's sorrow. When they reached his ranch, Ethan opened the gate, letting Daisy step onto familiar grass. The girl ran ahead, laughter mixed with tears, guiding Daisy toward a small farmhouse just beyond the fence. Ethan followed quietly, unsure if he was needed, but unwilling to leave. Inside, he met the mother. A fragile woman lying in bed, her presence quiet but dignified. She smiled faintly at her daughter, then at Ethan. I didn't know how we'd manage today," she whispered. "Thank you." The simplicity of her words carried more weight than anything Ethan had ever heard. Ethan spent the day helping with small, practical tasks, stacking firewood, cleaning the barn, and feeding Daisy with the girl. But in quiet moments, as the child and her mother shared memories, songs, and stories, Ethan realized something profound: even small acts of kindness could ripple far beyond one life. A solitary man could become a lifeline for someone in unimaginable need. As evening came, the mother's condition worsened. Ethan stayed, holding the girl's hand, telling quiet stories of his childhood, of open skies and wandering cattle, hoping to anchor her in a sense of normalcy. When the final hours arrived, he witnessed a moment he would never forget. The tender exchange of love between mother and child, shining brightly even in the shadow of loss. Though he could not change what was happening, he could ensure it was met with comfort, dignity, and the presence of someone who cared. The sun dipped low, painting the sky in orange and purple streaks, and the mother passed away with her daughter's hand in hers and Daisy nuzzling the girl's shoulder. The girl cried, but Ethan's steady presence became her anchor in a storm of grief. He held her, whispered reassurances, and together they watched the stars appear. In the days that followed, Ethan helped the girl navigate her sorrow, caring for Daisy, tending to chores, and simply being there when words fell short. Through shared moments of loss and care, a bond formed, a family in the most unexpected of circumstances. Ethan, once a man defined by solitude, discovered that compassion could reshape not just one life, but two. Months passed, and the ranch, once quiet and lonely, now resonated with laughter, voices, and the soft shuffle of hooves. The girl, carrying the memory of loss, grew resilient, nurtured by Ethan's steadfast presence. And Ethan learned that opening your heart could transform the emptiest of lives. He had gone to the fair intending to buy a cow, but he found something far more precious, the understanding that kindness can bridge even the deepest gaps, and that one person's generosity can leave a lasting mark. Ethan often watched the girl and Daisy from the porch, their laughter drifting across the fields, and he felt a deep gratitude. Life, he realized, wasn't measured in quiet nights or herd size, but in love shared, hands extended, and the courage to step forward when someone needed you most. In that light, the lonely rancher was no longer lonely.